Creating effective drops can be really difficult on hardware setups. However, here's a wonderful trick using Syntakt's effects block to activate instant filter sweeps and more. What's up everyone, I'm Mech, and in this series of tutorials we're going to have a look at creative and interesting ways to use Syntakt's effects block. So let's have a look at how we can combine the effects block and fill mode. A variation on the previous trick is to set up a trig in the effects block's sequencer to trigger a filter sweep and increasing reverb, for instance, to create an instant break. For this, the first thing we need to do is just route all the tracks per standard to the effects block, and on the effects block make sure that the drive is 0 unless you want a little bit of overdrive over your entire groove. Now add a trigger into the effects block's sequencer. Let's set that trigger or the length of that note to 16, and we can mimic a filter sweep. So let's set this to a high pass filter. Or set this to a spot where you want it to modulate and set a negative depth. Attack 0 and use the decay time to create the filter sweep. Like so. And let's make this 2 pages, yeah? And only one trigger, and let's make this trigger's length 32. Set this to... There we go, something like that. So additionally, we can really focus on where the resonance goes higher. If I turn it up too high, you get this insane bass boost while the frequency is moving up, right? So, where is the bass boost? Ending around here. So we're going to put a lock track here, turn that resonance all the way up or high, and then lower it for the rest. See? Get this nice sweep sound. That way we don't get a huge bass boost. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to use an LFO to increase the reverb send first. Let's do the reverb send. Reverb send. Let's set this to one-shot mode. And we're going to set this to increase. Let's use ramp. Actually going to set this to half. And now we need to set this to twice the length that we normally would. I have a Syntakt cheat sheet that you can use. You can get this from my shop, and on the back you will find a little calculation, help in calculation to determine how long an LFO exactly is. So in this case, it is fairly simple because we need to set a speed of 128 to have a full cycle be 1 bar of length. So if we set the speed to 1 and the multi to 128, now we have 1 cycle lasting 1 bar. But we need half a cycle to last 1 bar, so we're going to lower the multiplier to 64, right? So now it should increase the amp reverb send over 1 bar, or if you want 2 bars, we can set it to 2 bars. That's actually what we want, right? So there we go. There we go. Cool. Let's increase the decay time, a little bit of the reverb. Nice. We can also use another LFO and increase the reverb decay time over time. So we can also copy this reverb to this one, then set the destination to decay time like so. Nice. That's nice. And of course, we can also turn up the delay for this trigger. Huge. Okay, on the delay page, I'm gonna turn down the Reverb Send. Cool. Now, it's happening all the time, of course. So the last thing we need to do for these two triggers, we're gonna set condition fill. Now you'll see that it stays high. So it actually stays high the whole time while this is not being re-triggered anymore. So we need another trick and micro time that all the way to the left. And for this one, we're gonna basically re-trigger the default settings, right? So for this one, we're gonna lock the filter, frequency, resonance, depth, and the LFO depth, like so. By default, we're gonna set it to off. And for the filter, same thing. By default, we're gonna set this to 0. So now it's normal. And now if I press fill, oh, I forgot, this should be set to non-fill. So when I press fill, this will be triggered and engage the automated effect. And when I let go, just before the first beat of the first bar, this will be triggered and reset everything to normal. So here we go. And we have a little automated break. Pretty nice. Cool, so enjoy. You can learn many additional sound design and groove techniques through my courses and cheat sheets. For example, the Mastering Syntakt course bundle will go through all the steps to create a groove from scratch into a full track on Syntakt. The course covers all Syntakt's functions and how to use them effectively and creatively. For more information and free content like cheat sheets, head over to davemech.live/shop and become a Syntakt master. I hope these tricks inspire you to use the effects block in creative ways. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click the bell to be notified when a new video in this effects block series is released. Cheers!